All right. Hey, ladies. Hey, ladies. Hey, ladies. I am so excited. I haven't been live in so long. So I'm so excited to be here today to start off Healed Woman Summer. And I'm so excited to have Miss Darlene Brown here today. She's a phenomenal woman. That's all I can say. She is a phenomenal woman. She is a coach. She's a business owner, you guys. She has two wonderful children. And we're going to be talking about emotional intelligence, you guys. That's our conversation for today and how you can transform your life through emotional intelligence. She's a certified business coach and emotional intelligence trainer. So we're going to get into this, okay? So, Darlene, can you say hi to the ladies and introduce yourselves to this community?
Hello, ladies. Hello, everyone. My name is Darlene. I'm happy to be here and share some tips and nuggets with everyone on emotional intelligence, especially the topic of healed woman summer. I love that. We often talk about being a hot girl. Let me tell you, I think it's more important to be a healed girl, a healed woman. When women are healed, our children are better, our families fare better, our communities fare better when women are healed and whole.
Tiffany, she's a breakthrough coach. She actually came up with the idea summer, right? Because
Yeah.
she was so. Miss Darlene, can you tell us what made it most?
Well, I'm a academia person in business, emotional. I am gifted in orator, which is as a speaker. God gave it to me. He has allowed me to have a wisdom all my life and what to do with it, right? My purpose, girl, it's really more, I think, training and so teaching. And so it's all under community, whether I'm training or coaching or, of course, speaking. Originally from New York, Andrea, Virginia, and once was married for 12 years. Two beautiful children, as you said, that are twins, a son and a daughter.
Twins.
Twins. Originally, from the boogie down.
I love it. I've been to New York once. You know that saying, I love New York. Like, it was.
Yeah, it is definitely the city, as Alicia Keys said, right?
Could you
Yes.
tell us more started in your business, becoming a coach? A lot of women who are online, right? But they're afraid of what to speak in public. And it's a lot of childhood trauma of things that they won't come out and operate in their purpose and in their gifts. So can you?
Yeah. So look, first thing I'm speaking is one of the fear, and most people don't want to statistically prove it. So I would encourage anyone, whether you not, but to have your voice, tap into the power, the author, and because there's healing in. My company, Divine Empowerment, started in 2007. Finding your voice and the power in spoken word. In the beginning, there was the word, and the word was speaking energetically, things there, right? A change power. So I would encourage anyone, whether you want to be a speaker or not, know how to tap into it and use it, and how to use it, because when utilized properly. And
Yes, and I love the way that you in the universe, your words, speaking not only to other people and you're speaking to yourself, right? You
absolutely. Speak in truth. You want to think in truth. You want to think on these things that are good. Tell you the actual book, and I might be listening. You can hold me to that. And it's really because life, you literally can transform a lot of what you intelligence is attached to we feel. And so we know that, like I told you, it was the power went out, but I have my cell phone and it's charged. And so the feeling, was a little bit anxiety, but I get to choose. Like, no, I'm going to use my phone and I'll hear this message will hear because I know all things for those, that's money. So
yes.
this emotional intelligence, I'm not saying don't, the power is out. I saw it coming with the flickering. choose, okay, am I going to allow myself how I feel, this anxiety and what's going to happen? Or am I it's really something that you can practice consistently becomes your habit, it becomes your lifestyle.
Yes, I love that. And I love excuses, right? I'm going to show up. And a lot of women show up for themselves, right? Don't show up for themselves. And the many times where life has happened to lives, I still showed up for my excuses for the calling. They go ahead, Miss
And that's
Darlene.
that's that's very talk about emotional intelligence, right? Because I don't believe in making it, even being truthful, right? Means that I am accountable. Right? Well, some people know this as, and what
Yeah.
that basically means, then that means being on the greatness
Ooh.
in you, talent that you have barely scratched the surface, created all that amazing, just like you in the world that manifest or live in that. You have to participate. You got to do some work, right? Vitamin A. We all know, right? Because we know your attitude deterministically, positively, opportunities. I don't see obstacles. Myself to be excited. God says you can't please Him without faith because I know it's going to be great because I know part of you training a human and I don't care when I hear, of course I do. I don't allow transform my energy to speak life. Lonely that might be grieving over that loss, take away for that family, and please speak, lead and direct my steps on blessing for somebody here. I also want to say, when we talk about been through some trauma in some way, right? We can call it bullying around that, and we speak about it, but we all went through it. That is, and we know how that shaped us. One a painful experience in the school, they could take you back to that exact hair was fixed, right? That heal, when we talk about healed woman summer, healing you to be the best you can be. But they will do
Yeah.
so in love. Their words won't make you feel less than. Their words will make you feel empowered. Their words will make you feel like you got it and you can do it. Their
Yeah.
words will actually inspire you, right? To push yourself harder. That's the type of people you want in your life. When you have that emotional type of support and mental type of support, then it
Yeah.
is easier for someone to master the life of emotional intelligence. But it's a daily thing because we're around so many different people from our work life, our family life,
Yeah.
maternal, siblings, familial, right? We have friendships, we have church, we have community. There's all types. And energetically, you have to know how to release those things, not carry it with you.
Mm.
Emotional intelligence is really also about that. Things that go on in the world that affect you. Not that you don't care. Pray for those people. That's why I believe in the power of prayer. And then allow God to be God all by himself. Don't carry that with you. Give it to God. God's word says that to bring it to the altar and leave it there. That's exactly what you should be doing every night, bringing it to the altar and leaving it there so that when you go to sleep with a level of peace, a level of harmony, wholeness, healness, and knowing that great awaits you. And then
Yeah.
for me, in terms of emotional intelligence, when I wake up in the morning, I wake up and I have a process that I do of gratitude,
Yeah.
everything. I'm grateful for it all. That's why I'm saying don't be angry about whatever happened to you. Forgive, release it, be grateful for what you learned and how it allowed you to become better. Wish people well, don't wish them bad. Let them learn the things they need to learn on their journey. This is all emotional intelligence. And speak positivity over your life, right?
Yeah.
If you need to do a good cry, this is what I tell people, because we're human and we all
Yeah.
came into the world and we all had the same language, and it was
Right.
crying. If we
Mm.
something hurt, we cried. That was how. If we
Yeah.
were hungry, we cried. If something was wet on our bottom, we cried. Right?
Yeah.
That closeness of our mother or whoever was leaving, we cried. That was the
Yeah.
way that we communicated. And I think what happens is, over life and our ability to be resilient, we don't allow ourselves to cry. And
Mm.
crying is very cathartic because it does release the emotional energy from pain through our
Mm.
tears. And we're usually crying out to God, our mother, father, right? Who knows all anyway. And just like a child would cry before their parent and feel a sense of relief, that is also what we feel. So I want to say
Yeah.
that as a licensed certified emotional intelligence trainer, that I think it's healthy to cry. You don't have to tell people. You can do it in the shower, but you can do it by yourself. But have a good cry. There's no shame in it. That doesn't make you weak. It makes you human, which is what you are. As you also go through emotional intelligence, I would say journaling. And I know we're running on time, so I want to be respectful. Journaling is something that's really good. And I know people say, I don't want to journal because somebody might find it. Who cares? Everybody got their stuff. Trust me. I don't care
Yeah.
how pretty they make it look with the weave and the makeup and the whatever,
And
Gucci,
the and the
Louis.
and the and the
I'm going to just tell you the bling bling. Everybody got their stuff. If they living and breathing in planet Earth, they got their stuff, so it don't matter. Journaling allows you to release it without judgment, without criticism, without condemnation, because the paper will take it and will not give you anything back. It will take whatever you give it. So journaling is another way to master emotional intelligence. And then 3, you get to choose. You don't have to take on other people's issues.
yeah.
Healthy boundaries. I love you. I love you dearly. I'm going to pray for you, but I'm going to do so over here while you work on that. Okay? Because I need to preserve my own peace first. First.
Mm.
And then that's the thing, as women, we sometimes feel like we have to overextend and over obligate ourselves. You don't. You
Yeah.
can't be to no one else, but you are not first to yourself. That's the law of nature, self-preservation. It is not my law. That's the law of nature, self-preservation. So, loving self, having healthy boundaries, knowing what you want, knowing what works for you, healing, crying, journaling, working on your self-care. Those are all going to tie into emotional intelligence, because if you're not well, it's going to show up in how you speak to yourself. It's going to show up in how you speak to other people. It's going to show up in how you treat yourself. It's going to show up in how you treat other people. Believe me, what's on the inside comes out. Emotional intelligence is all about practicing to release, heal, forgive, and find your joy. And
Yeah.
you
I
do that.
love that
Yes.
you mentioned that it will come out of you, you know. And I love that you mentioned the part about healing. And one of the things that we're going to be working on in our community that we have is healing your body. I read a book, it's called Your Body Keeps Score, and it's about the
Yes.
trauma that we hold in our body. And a lot of us women within the last 3 years, well, our whole lives kind of been up and down, but the last 3 years, we've went to food to comfort us for those emotions we have been feeling since the pandemic. People think that the pandemic is over, but there's a huge aftermath that's happening right now from the effects of that pandemic. And a lot of it has is stored up inside of our body. So we're going to be working on getting our health together. I love the way that you said journal. That's one of the things that I also teach is journaling, writing down those thoughts that are in your head as well. And one thing I wanted to add is community. We have a prayer community. Today I was going through my prayer closet because every meeting I write down everybody's prayers and give it to God, right? And so today I was actually reading some of the prayers that we had last year. And this year we're having meetings and I'm like, wow, you're retiring. Wow, your child is going to college. You bought a house. All of those things are coming into that. They're manifested into fruition just from speaking in community, right?
That's
So it's
right.
so
That's
many
right.
things. And I think that's a Bible verse, right? To confess your sins to others as well.
But yes, and I think that's what where it's important when we talk about community and fellowship. It's important to have that safe space. And I think
Yeah,
that when we have entrusted, sometimes when we entrust with humans, we get disappointed because they will, in their humanness, let us down. And this is where it's important to forgive and extend grace. It
yeah,
means for me that we're all on the journey of working to become the best. And if we could extend grace and love, right, and just say, hey, I think you're a better person than that. And we all make mistakes and love people through it. I think it's more inclined for people to want to do better, be healthy, be healed, participate 100% in their own healing. Because you're right, the body does keep score energetically. We remember everything even if we don't want to say it. That's why I said whatever's on the inside will come out.
yeah,
And sometimes we need to take time to go within. We need
mm,
to question our behaviors. Sometimes it can't be, well, that's just the way I am,
mm,
right? No, that's not just the way you are. That's the way you're choosing to be. And I
yeah,
think it takes work and effort, but you're worth it to show up as the best you, the most peaceful you, the most loving you, with all the radiant light that God created you with. That can't show up in the world when we're hurting. And a lot of times we mask our pain through other things,
mm,
through other things. And things could be shopping, it could be doing things, substances, and food is one of those. And
yeah,
so then we're not giving our bodies what it
mm,
needs to even be healthy, right? Because we're hurting, and so we're eating our pain away with things that don't really support our physical being. And so it is a process, this whole emotional intelligence, mind, body, and spirit. And
yeah,
so we work at that daily. I know I do, through,
Yes.
monitoring what I eat, what I drink, what I do with the 24 hours that God gives me, because we all got the same amount every day, and realizing it's a choice, and also being gentle with myself in the process.
Yes, I love that. And so the other day, I had an emotional reaction to somebody, and I had to apologize to them. And then I had to go back in my own home and write down, where did this come from? What's the root of this? And I had to do some inner work. And it wasn't about them, it was about me and some things that I had been going through, right? So sometimes we have to take that time to be self aware, right? And to not,
Yes.
right? And you talk a lot about self awareness, and you also talk about having a heart of gratitude, right? So, can you
Mm-hmm.
speak more about being self aware and also the heart of gratitude?
Yeah, so gratitude for me, I think it allows me energetically, if just be grateful for it all. um,
Mm.
I'm more centered, I'm more balanced. That doesn't mean I don't desire things. Of course I do. But if I can first be grateful for what I have, then I approach my life from a place of being blessed abundantly, not from a place of lack, right?
Yeah.
I come from a place of being, I'm supported, right? Look. And so I think that's important, because it shifts your perspective. And that, when you shift your perspective, life looks different for you. You no longer see yourself as the lesser of can't. You see yourself as having all that you desire, right? And believing and knowing. The other part, I'm sorry, the other part of your question you wanted me to talk about, well, gratitude is one of them, but self awareness really comes from spending time with yourself. Don't get me wrong, I think community is necessary. I think having a bestie or besties is important. Having social life and social time is a part of how God designed it. But I think there's nothing greater than spending time with yourself and doing the introspective work, asking yourself the truthful questions about what you feel, why you feel it, what you like, why you like it, what you don't like, and why don't you like it. And then being bold and courageous to answer yourself honestly. When you can do that, then you have a level of self awareness of who you are that allows you to be confident, not egotistical, right? In that knowledge. So I don't have to judge you, and there's nothing you can really say that could tear me down, because I know who I am authentically and who God created me to be in this way. And I don't have to compare myself to you, because He created only one of me and one of you. And so self awareness is rooted in that. That's where self love lives. And self love is the key, right? Because I can't give you what I first don't have for me. By that, I
Oh,
simply mean, if I go around saying the commandment of God is to love you, that is the commandment, and God is love and He loves me and I am one with God, and I say I love you, then I must love myself. That's going to show up in how I treat you, my
yeah.
brother
Oh,
and my sister. Don't let me go to church in here, right? My brother
oh,
and my sister, it's going to show up in how I treat you, how I address you, how I speak to you. Am I kind? Am I compassionate? Am I caring? Do I extend grace? I'm not saying that I'm unaware, just that I'm not judging you. I'm gonna be aware of the world I live in, and that's gonna show up through who I am. So
yes, I love that. And I got a few more, well, two more questions because we have to go, right?
I
So the
know.
first question, we're going to do this again. Trust me, Miss Arlene, we are going to do this again, and we probably end up we're going to do this again.
Okay,
So,
okay.
one of the things about when you started here, you're like, oh, New York, the city of dreams. Yes, dreams come true, right? So, what
Yes.
boundaries do people need to create in their life as far as emotional intelligence to get
Oh,
to that
right.
dream lifestyle that they want, right? What do
So
they need to
yeah,
do
you
to
you have to
create
have
that
you have to have discipline. I talked
life?
about vitamin A being attitude determines your altitude, and accountability, right? You have to be willing to be accountable to what you say you want. right? Prayer is a part of it, but you have to participate actively in creating that. And so I always say faith is an action word. So if I believe that God said, if you believe it, you can dream it, you can achieve it. Keyword achieve. Well, you can't achieve anything if you ain't taking action. So vitamin A again is about action. And then D, vitamin D, discipline. Discipline is doing what must be done when you don't feel like it. Right? So that comes in sacrifice, right? And so, you can't say that you believe in God to give you something that you're not willing to sacrifice a couple of nights sleep for. You're not willing to sacrifice, a $5 cup of coffee for, right? How much are you willing to participate in creating the reality you desire? Because no one's in your way but you. You have to believe in yourself more than anyone else would believe in you. So that when people tell you no, or when people don't want to support you, you still continue to be resilient and focused and disciplined to do what needs to be done to create your reality. So that's really when I talk about, New York, the big city of dreams, right? It's where it's the concrete jungle where dreams are made of, which is in the song that Alicia Keys sang. And it's true. I being born and raised there, I was exposed to that very early on.
That's amazing. I love that. And I just want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. I know we have so much more that we can talk about, but we're going to get her back on another day. So can you tell us what is it that you have coming up in the future, and where can they find you to learn more about emotional intelligence, speaking, business, and all the amazing things that you have going on right now?
Well, you can follow me on Instagram, Darlene Brow. Drop the N, and also on Facebook, Darlene Brow. My website is divineempowerment.org. It's lots of information that you can go on my website and get that's free. You can also go to my YouTube page, Darlene Brown. But yeah, just follow me. I have some projects that I'm going to be launching in the last quarter of 2023 that I think is going to be really good. But my whole message is all about sharing and information that allows people to heal and transform their thought life so that they can create the life that they truly desire.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank
We really
you.
appreciate you. Thank you, ladies, for showing up tonight. I always have my prayer community that meets every month. We have our accountability group where we're actively going over our goals and our dreams. This month, we're decluttering our houses, okay? Last month, we focused on our health. Before that, our spiritual. So every month, we're working on some area of our lives. If you want to, you can join the community. Just DM me. I love you, ladies. Y'all have a good night. Bye. Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Bye bye.